Good evening, friends. Welcome to Ahmedabad Management Association. On behalf of Ahmedabad Management Association, I am Unmesh Dikshit welcoming you all. Thank you very much for your overwhelming response and support. I would like to invite Mr. Divyesh Radia, our President of Ahmedabad Management Association on dais, and our facilitator for the day, Mr. Manoj Onkar. Please come, sir. Before I invite and Mr. Radia welcomes you all formally, I would like to set a couple of expectations so that we all are on same page before we go towards the journey of CEO Forum. This is a learning platform. By default, if networking happens, that is our benefit. Please don't miss out the learning part. AMA is known for learning, knowledge, trainings and education. So kindly have a mindset, humble request that this is a learning platform. Networking can be an additional advantage. Second point, Mr. Manoj Onkar will be taking up these 3 sessions next month, one Thursday, and another month, one Thursday. And also we will be coming up with a niche training needs based on your feedback and need. Of course, today he is going to share something very different, and be ready for the different interaction, conversation, and the inputs which he is going to give us from his experience. I will not disclose the part of it, let him do the needful. Whoever have registered or not registered, you all are welcome here, but kindly complete the office formalities if you have not registered, so that we can communicate it to you in the next coming time for taking it forward. One important message I would like to give is, one of the leading company CEO who is here present had called me after reading this announcement that, Unmesh, I would like to come at AMA, but then after getting my data, people start bombarding on messages and emails that we need this fund or we need this support. So will you ensure that we are safe? And I have given commitment, that yes, all the data is safe, all people are safe, because you are coming here for learning. I'm sorry if I'm communicating it straight and direct, but this is from my heart. For AMA, you are all welcome for the learning session. Have a happy learning sessions ahead. Thank you very much. Mr. Radia, please welcome everybody.
Thank you, Unmesh Bhai. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the first very CEO forum at the Ahmedabad Management Association. And I'm really very happy and touched to see a wonderful attendance of senior people. It's a month of May. A lot of people are traveling, but yes, a lot of senior people have come here. So I'm really personally grateful to all for your presence. As Unmesh said, this is the very first kind of CEO forum we are doing today. As most of you are knowing, we have got people who are members, who are non-members, but a lot of our open programs are open, so people come, everybody is welcome. But a lot of our programs, which are our paid programs or workshops or seminars or certain long training programs, have been focused to lower and middle level management, and some functional topics are of course there, where even the seniors come for the topic, because it's an ever-changing world. We have talks or special awareness programs, or even a paid workshop for a particular training. It could be artificial intelligence or blockchain, or changes in the compliance part, where there are new things coming up every day now and then. But this is a special kind of forum which we intend to expand in future, catering to the senior management, because earlier there were issues about level of trainers in Ahmedabad, and companies also, they used to go outside, or they have different campus and all. But since last 2 years, there has been a positive feedback from our members and other companies. We are definitely to do senior training at AMA in a different formats. So our program starts. This is a kind of awareness, you can call it to some extent a masterclass. What this word is very popular now these days, so you can call it that way. And in future we will have workshops or special modules on certain topics which are actually relevant to the senior management or the CEO, CXO, CEO, whatever. And I don't want to take much of your time, but before we begin, our trainer, I'd like to give a brief introduction about Mr. Manoj Onkar. Manoj ji is the founder of Management Innovations, who has over 25 years plus experience of a very, impressive experience in his domain as an organizational development expert. So OD is his forte. He's a strategic consultant, a leadership development champion, a master coach, and a master trainer. In the field of transformational education, the name Landmark Forum, many of you must have attended those workshops, they were very popular, stands head and shoulders above the rest. It was Manoj who established the operations of Landmark Forum in Gujarat. Earlier, I remember in the 90s, Landmark was held only at Bombay, where he worked as a trainer and a seminar leader for several years. Over 30,000 people benefited from his expertise. Manoj, as part of the NIS Sparta, had the privilege of training, coaching, and certifying over 125 B2B trainers as well as coaches. In the B2C domain, Manoj molded hundreds of trainers and coaches. In the field of academic education too, over 200 teachers had him as their coach and mentor. Subsequently, that's from 2015, Manoj has been involved in transforming the consciousness which organizations, society, individuals operate by leveraging the Theory U principles, Theory U, and offering specialized workshop and consulting services based on the same. The flagship program is called Leadership from the Emerging Future. Manoj is also a certified trainer in innovating thinking system by Beacon, Japan, and offers training and consulting in India, Thailand, and other countries. So it's so nice to have such an experienced person amongst us for this forum. And I welcome Manoj on behalf of all of you, NMA. And before he begins, I'll welcome him with a flower and a memento, please. Manoj.
Okay. Yeah. I may not need the mic, but let's see.
With your permission, I'll sit there.
As you wish, sir.
15 minutes before the
Good evening. I'll use English, Hindi, Gujarati mix, right? So I think I would prefer to introduce myself as a student of AMA. Right? I did pay fees for my engineering college, but the professors were not interesting enough. So I used to attend management workshops here, and I was telling Dikshit, my close friend, that first 3 years of my income I have given to AMA as my program fees. I have attended some 40 programs here, not only in this campus, but in the earlier campus. Navrangpura, Punjabi Hall, yeah. And I think I was, at that time, what do you call it? The most, paisa vasool kind of a, no, for your library. I used to read 2 books from AMA library every week, right, for years and years. And the team that was there was very supportive, so yeah. So I think I would say that a lot of my education in management has happened through AMA. And then, of course, life takes on, but that was the foundation. And nowadays, I'm working with Theory U, as Sir said. It's from MIT, Dr. Otto Scharmer. Many of you are familiar with systems thinking, right? So systems thinking has been brought into the corporate world by Peter Senge. Right? And he's also the one who brought this whole concept of learning organization. See, we all know how to learn as an individual, how to train as an individual, right? Which is, of course, an illusion. We never train. They learn. You cannot train. right? But still, we know certain things about that. But very few people understand how do you get an organization to learn? Because organization is a different mechanism than individuals. And most people don't understand that organization learning is a very different world compared to individual learning. So first thing about some good news about organization learning is training programs don't work there. Right? When companies say, oh, we want to do training programs, my recommendation is take your people for picnic. It will be better. If you think attending one training program is going to make any difference, then you have no relationship to reality. Right? How many of you have attended some programs, felt very good, and in 72 hours forgotten everything? That's the official system. Official data is human beings forget 90% of what they learn in 72 hours. Unfortunately, poor HR chaps are measured. How many training programs did you organize in this year? Okay, fine, do 24 programs. What is the impact? Oh, everybody liked it. We call it happy sheet. And everybody gave good marks to the trainer and to the food and everything. What is the impact on the organization? Not a valid question, right? So if you look at Peter Senge and why I love him, right? Really, I am very inspired by him, is because he talks systems thinking. How do you understand a system and how do you make a difference with the system, right? The world is crazy about fixing individual. लोगों को सुधारो, right? अभी training program, this month end I am doing a program for 3 days with a company, 30 people. The CEO and the HR head have given me, these are the people, these are the training development issues of this person. I said, but where is the training development issue of you? You are also a participant, that you are not written. All these problems are existing, you have some contribution, sir. Yes or no? No, but the CEO is not looking at it. We are all looking outside. You have to turn the camera around. What's my role in this whole system that I am designing? Right? So Peter Senge is the main person, our systems thinking, and Otto Scharmer worked with him, and he invented, then both of them worked for 20, 30 years, not 2, 3 years, 20, 30 years, and they invented this system called Theory U. And it is for transformation of business, society, and self. So we're going to look at a little bit about that. See, what is system? System means understanding the interconnect, the dependency, right? Is that possible for you to take this on the side, or is it has to be in the center? If it is possible. Otherwise, it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I think I'm, yeah. So, see, individuals don't live in vacuum. Organizations don't live in vacuum. And society is not outside of individual and organization. They're all interconnected. So we need to understand the interconnect, right? So we are all on the same planet, right? We are trying to do business on the same planet. We are going to have people from the same planet. The people who come into our companies are coming from the same planet, same society. Yes, no? So they don't come from vacuum. So we need to understand what's happening with the world first before we look at what to do. So I'm going to take you through some situations on the planet. Yeah, by the way, those of you, where is the screen, sorry? Oh, okay, thank you. So those of you who love to read, these are the books by Dr. Otto Scharmer, and Peter Senge is involved in the first one, definitely. And it's in the same sequence. So if you want to read from the source, you can start from presencing. And if you like just the final concepts, you can go to the last one, right? And yeah. So this is Otto Scharmer, and he is part of the UN leadership team. He's right now training more than 1,000 UN leaders. He's got the award from the OD network for elevating humanity through this work. And more than 200,000 people have been trained. Some of our IS officers are currently getting trained with him. These are various organizations from various fields, from pharma to finance, right? So the Google to Alibaba to McKinsey to UN to Scotland government to Ashoka Foundation, you name it. Right? Including a lot of other universities are taking this course and bringing it into their university. Including some people in India are trying to do that. These are various companies that have been involved with this. These are various long-term system transformation projects happening with regards to land. So common land is this, and Red Cross, most of us know. SDG is the Sustainable Development Goals, most of us are aware of. UNDP, Eileen Fisher, Decathlon, some of you are customers of Decathlon, I believe, right? And many more, right? Now, this is the data that is most interesting. So if you look at all the problems on the planet, you can put them in 3 buckets. First bucket is the ecological divide. Now, when I say eco divide, people convert it into economical divide. No, no, no. I'm talking about ecological divide. Ecological divide means, as human beings, we are disconnected from nature. Right? We are using plastic bottles. Right? That's just a simple way to see how disconnected we are from nature. Right? We talk about it everywhere, but still, this is convenient. Right? The second thing is the social divide. Social divide is we as human beings are disconnected from each other. And third is spiritual divide. The spiritual divide means we are disconnected from ourselves. We are disconnected from our own self, right? So what does it mean if you go further? As ecological divide, we are consuming 1.7 or 1.8 times the regenerative capacity of planet Earth. So planet Earth has resources for all of us. Thank you. Right. So it has resources for all of us, but not only for human beings. It has resources for everybody, right? All species. But still we are consuming, and we are consuming at 1.79 times or 1.8 times the regenerative capacity of planet Earth. What it means is the damage cannot be repaired. If it is below 1, planet can regenerate itself. It has its own natural capacity. Above 1, it becomes a problem. Luckily, the whole world is not as stupid as US, because if you were as stupid as US, we will be consuming 5 times the regenerative capacity of planet Earth. 5 times. Means, like, I was talking to a very senior person, and we were discussing, as humanity, what is our race? To destroy ourselves first or destroy the planet first? We are in a race. We are in a race to destroy. He said, don't worry. We will destroy ourselves first before we destroy the planet. But imagine 5 times the regenerative capacity of planet Earth we would be using if we were like US. Unfortunately, we are already at 1.8 times, and it's going bad and worse. 3 to 5 years back, when I used to present this, I used to say 1.5 times. The second thing is the social divide. Now, as human beings, we have been very innovative in dividing ourselves. Very innovative. How do we divide ourselves? How do we create walls between us? So many. Age, gender, education, caste, religion, what else? Looks, right? You have black color, white color, you start seeing a lot of it, right? And then also profession, status, profession, financially, geographically, everywhere. We have been so innovative. Like we have come up with so many ways to divide that I say we are living on a planet of 8 billion lonely people. Really. Means I have to catch myself that when I am not spending some time with my wife, I am also contributing to 8 billion lonely people on the planet. Right? And if you really stay with it, it's shocking. We have thousands of friends, right? I have some 25,000 contacts in LinkedIn. If you ask me 25 names, it will be a problem, right? And how many people are we connected to really? You know, some sad news is also coming in the next part, but I'm just saying. I think a month or 2 months back, we had a professor or assistant professor from LD engineering commit suicide. And I saw pictures of his family in the newspaper, family pictures. It looked like, wow, they're so happy. In the pictures, they look so happy. 8 billion lonely people. Wife goes to the college, husband commits suicide. We don't know what's happening in each other's lives. Right? I, as sir mentioned, I train a lot of trainers, and so one of my colleague was leading a workshop, and he had a CEO attending the workshop. And before the workshop, we asked them to file what you want to accomplish and all that stuff. So the CEO wrote, I have 400 people in my company. I want to increase their productivity. So I told my coach, the trainer, does he know them? Does he know those 400 people? You have no idea what's happening in their life. No freaking idea. So disconnected. Right? It's like worse than hiring machines. We invest more in machines. And then the third is the spiritual divide. We are not connected to our higher self. And how does it lead to? We live hollow life. And we have to fill up that life with a lot of things, right? So in the day, run after money. In the evening, watch Netflix, right? Or some people have to deal with addiction. A lot of other things. But fundamentally, hollow life, life with anxiety, stress, and you name it. Now this problem is not just ending there. It ends with what it says on the screen. We have so much violence on the planet, yes? Wars, terrorism, so much. Still, and natural calamities. Not only violence and terrorism, we also have natural calamities. Still, more people are killing themselves than are being killed by others. 10 years back data is 800,000 people killed themselves. And this is the official reported data, right? As we all know, in India, reported data is to be multiplied by 10 to get actual data, right? But whatever it is, it's sad. That's the life we are living in. That person who's coming to your office and doing a presentation, you don't know what's going on in there. And we are saying increase your productivity. Yeah, he's saying I am about to buy rat poison. We don't know. Now it's not about being scared, but it's about being sensitive. That we are living on this planet where this is what's happening. We are disconnected from nature, we are disconnected from each other, and we are disconnected from ourselves. Now, how does it show up in our company, for example? You have heard this word, silo? What is that? It's the same social divide. I am in sales. Why should I have to talk to production guy? It is their problem. And production guy is saying, I need the raw material. Why should I interact with the finance person? That's their problem. And finance person says, I don't have money. HR hired you. Take salary from HR. Somewhat similar. Have you heard this with little exaggeration? Where is this silo thinking coming from? It's the same social divide. We are all disconnected. So what are most of the CEOs doing? As you know, they are being telephone operators to get two department heads to talk to each other. How many of you understand what I'm saying? That you have to get people together because this person is saying, I am working for you. This person is saying, I am working for you. Nobody's got them working for the company. सही जा रहा हूँ? Nobody is working for the company. They are working for you. You have so much obligation. If you are a CEO, everybody is working for you on paper, actually you are working for them. Because he has a problem with him, he will call you, you have to connect with him, दोनों मिल जाओ ना यार, थोड़ा चाय पी लो, कुछ करो. We are all so divided. We live in that. So this is what's happening. And when I say this, most people think this is happening somewhere out in the world. No, this is happening in our life, with our family members, with ourselves. Like I was just noticing for myself that lately I have been sad. And I don't know why. I have some suspicions. But I have never even allowed myself to say to myself that I am sad. Like, how can I say that? But lately I just started noticing, I allowed myself the permission to notice that I am sad. It's okay. Whether it's okay or not, I am sad, right? World gives me permission or not, if I am sad, at least I need to be straight with myself. Why should I need to fool anybody or fool myself? No, I can be. Then I can go further into it and all the stuff, but the point is we have to allow to connect with ourselves. And then when you allow yourself to connect with yourself, you can create that atmosphere in your house, in your children, and then take it to the office. By the way, our relationship in our home is very useful to understand what we do in office and vice versa. Right? So this is the training ground for that, and that is the training ground for this. Because we're still dealing with human beings. And we're still dealing with ourselves. So this is the planet we are working on. This is the planet where we are trying to do business. So let me pause here and now give you a chance to ask questions, comments, anything. Yes, please. Can I get you a mic? You have? Okay, great. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can I speak standing? I have to stand up.
No. You can sit.
In that, what I was telling is social divide or all those things. Actually, it's coming when we are all our children. That time, what we taught. Okay, when you are writing your answer, you have to cover it, and then you write it. And
yes.
So from up to our education, we are taught like that. You have
yes.
to hide the knowledge. Now, after when we are coming in the job,
yes.
now boss is telling you collaborate with other. How it will possible? Not possible.
Yes.
That is all things. So we can't say
15 years you get punished for collaboration, and then you have to come here and then now do collaboration, right?
So
yes.
that is so we have to, if we really want to make a, so we have to change the thing from the base itself.
Yes.
It is not possible once everybody will come in the job, then we have to. And if you go, because I am from the North India, in that I can tell one idiom in the Hindi कि ये पुराना तोता पोस नहीं मानता है, मानो जो पुराना जानवर हो गया उसको आप पालतू बनाना चाहेंगे, it's not possible. So once they have come up to 25-30 year age, then you want to make some major change, it will not possible. So we have to think, okay, there is a social divide, there is a spiritual divide. Now we have to design our system in the corporate such a way that we have to drag everybody in that one. We cannot make a dramatic change, we cannot exponential change, we have to live with that one. Then only we can move ahead.
No, you cannot continue to live with it, right?
No,
I understand that you want to blame education system, and I agree with you. But they will also say, we were also taught like this only. Where did they learn? They learned from their teachers and they learned from their teachers. So whom are we going to ultimately blame? That's not enough.
No, I am not telling I am blaming that one. No,
No, but-
once we are in our corporate world, when we are trying to align some, making a SOP,
Yeah.
align the thing, we have to consider all those things when we are making the SOP, when we are making some system. We have to keep in mind that thing, we have this type of workforce, we have to act accordingly. Like that, I want to give.
That's one way. Fortunately, I don't agree with you, because otherwise there will be no magic available, right? So I was working with a company which is 60 years old business house, and I was doing the third workshop with them, and this on the end of the first day, we were spending some time with the CEO, and he is complaining this customer service head is a problem. There are so many complaints about this customer service head, so many complaints about this. He was like the whole dinner, he was cribbing and complaining. At the end I said, it's not the customer service head. They are complaining about the company. No customer is complaining about any of your department. They are complaining about the company. And when they stop doing business, they won't stop doing business with the department, they will stop doing business with the company. So it's not her problem, it's your problem. Some tube light happened to him, and he said, because we have been talking this with him for 2 sessions before that, right, 2 workshops before that. So he is kind of thinking in the background. He realized, oh, actually I created all these departments in my company, and I forced people to focus on their department to make my life easy. Initially he thought that will make his life easy. No, आप संभालो सेल्स, आप संभालो प्रोडक्शन, आप संभालो ये, अरे दूसरे के इसमें टांग मत लगाओ. अभी प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, अब बोल रहा हूँ कोलैबोरेशन करो. So again, you have to turn the camera around and not only see the system, but also see our role in creating that system, right? And when you turn around and when you say, this is no more the religion of our company, right? Silo thinking is no more the religion of our company. You change, they will change.
That is perfectly correct.
And just to let you know, you need to have some happy news also. This company, after we worked with them for 3 years, they got the best managed small and medium enterprise award from their prime minister in Thailand. Right? A 60-year-old company completely turned around their culture in 3 years, but starts with the CEO. Right? We don't work with companies where the CEO says, train my staff. We don't work with them. There's no point.
That is correct. First we have to train ourselves. As a leader, we have to
created
lead
the
from the
system.
front.
Yeah. And we cannot change the system by outsourcing the problem. We are part of the problem. So you have to see whether you want to break this silo thinking in your company. How important it is for you to break that. If you see it's important, then it's fine. If not important, it's okay. Right? It depends on your business.
We have to design the system as per our requirement and business.
Yeah, good. Thank you very much. Anything else? Good. Thank you very much. Can we acknowledge him for engaging and participating? That's how it begins, right?
Just I want to add one thing we have told about the suicides. Okay, sometimes suicide, okay, it's not actually spiritual divided. In that I want to give an example. 5-6 years back, there was one media lady from Andhra Pradesh channel. She committed suicide by taking dive from the 5th and 6th floor. In that suicide note, she has mentioned that my knowledge is my enemy. My knowledge is my enemy. What she want to tell in that kind, because I am not able to work in that company, that media, because my senior, I am more knowledgeable than senior. I have tried for 5 years, 6 years to convince my boss, but I am not able to succeed. So I have taken the suicide, and not only that, knowledge is my enemy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, somebody else? Questions, comments? Yes, please. We'll get you the mic there. It's okay. Can you pass it on? Thank you. Yes, sir. Not working? Oh.
Just like human body has a DNA, every organization also has a DNA.
Yes.
I mean, and everybody says that human DNA cannot be changed. I mean, and so is it possible and time is of an essence, right?
Yeah.
For every CEO as well. You were saying about the organization's culture. Is it possible to change the DNA of an organization?
Yes. Completely 200% if the top management is there. So I say, give me the top 5 people. If they are aligned, we will change the culture in 1 year. If they are not aligned, it will take 1,000 years. It will not happen.
Thank you.
Guaranteed. You cannot change the culture unless the top management is with you. Means you can do anything. You can do Shirshasan for 1,000 days, it won't happen. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Jaldeep, and
Yes,
I own the company, an IT company for 12 years. My question is, there is a friction between moral, ethical, and legal classifications, and the friction is all about the ego. It's a transformation.
Yes.
What I understand from,
Yeah.
if my knowledge serves me right, it's our ego which doesn't let us transform.
Yeah.
Now, to resolve the ego, how do we know that the solution which we are looking for, the solution which we are portraying in front of us as a milestone, is a manifestation of mind, or it's actually a solution?
You have to give me some more data.
Okay.
Say something more.
So, say for example, if morally speaking, I must be doing something good for myself and my family. If ethically speaking, I should be taking
give
care
me
of.
a real situation. Okay.
So there is a person, for example,
Yeah.
he is not good for the company.
Okay.
Now, morally, I don't like to fire people.
Why?
I don't like that. That's me.
It's got nothing to do with morals.
Okay. I'll absorb that, afterwards. But
Yeah.
at the moment, when I'm processing
Yeah.
the data,
Yeah.
for me, I don't like to fire people.
Right.
Ethically, I'm right. If I'm right morally, I should morally for what is right for me, I decide for myself. At the moment,
Yeah. Sure.
So morally, I don't like to fire them. Ethically, it's right that I'm talking about my extended family or extended my
Yes.
surroundings.
Yes.
Legally, I'm right. I can fire anyone.
Right.
Now there is a friction.
Yeah. Definitely.
So now to transform myself, now I'm talking about transforming myself.
Right.
Morally, if I want to, if I'm going to align with you,
Yeah.
morally I'm going to change my moral values. Now what is the now I have if I have a manifestation in my mind that this is moral,
Okay.
and now according to your perception, that is not moral. Now when we are working in the
Can I
real,
give you some other access to look at
please
it?
do, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll give you another access to look at it. Okay. So, and this is for everybody. Okay. So, as we looked at this 3 divides, and as our friend Sandeep, right? Jaldeep, right. So, Jaldeep has taken us to some further, he has made us jump a lot of stuff. So, we are going to look at this. As we are disconnected from self and universe and everybody, one of the things that is there in the background. Now you can say this is because of that or that is because of this, we don't know, right? But human beings, all of us, we are wired for not listening. Not listening. We cannot listen. It's not that we don't listen. We cannot listen. We are not wired for listening. So some people think, oh, no, I am a good listener. Bhai, you are a human being here. Human beings cannot listen. It's not about you. Human beings cannot listen. Now, if you have any doubt, go and ask your spouse. What will your spouse say? You went to the workshop for that. I am telling you for last 20 years. But of course, we don't even listen to that. right? But so what are we doing? Why we have this illusion that we are listening? All of us have this illusion that we are listening, okay? As the sir mentioned, I used to lead the landmark forum, and we used to have some 200, 300 participants in the big hall. And I will ask, how many of you think you are good listeners? So everybody will say, how many of you have open mind? Then I will say, Acha, you have open mind, right? Then can you be open to that you're not open? If you are so open, you should be open to consider that you are not open. What is the proof of open mind? Is you can question what is in your mind. If you are attached to what is in your mind, then you are not open mind. We have open mind for what we understand. We have open mind for what we agree. That is not open mind. I am very open, but not to that idiot. Not to that topic, no. ये तो खोटी बात है, ये तो है. So in the same way, one of the things we have to be open to is we can't listen. Not we don't listen, we can't listen. But then why do we have this illusion that we are listening? Because we are listening to our opinions and judgment. We think we are listening to the other person, like some of you may have an illusion that you are listening to me right now. No, you are not listening to me right now. You are listening to some opinions and judgments. So it's very much like this, right? Imagine that you are living in this kind of a room which is closed, windows are there but the curtains are pulled, and there is a projector here, and you are seeing some great videos here, audio video. But this projector is connected to your brain. So you are seeing great audio video. Of course, since it's connected to your brain, it's great, but it has got no relationship to reality outside of the room. So other way to say that is, we are living in our head. We are living in our head. Yeah. And no relationship to reality. So this person whom you are trying to fire, you don't know him. You have opinions and judgments about him. You don't know him at all. And the person whom you are giving promotion, you don't know him also. You have opinions and judgment about him. So you are giving promotion based on your opinion and judgment, and you are firing based on your opinion and judgment. But you think you are dealing with reality. See, there is nothing wrong with opinion and judgment. If you know it is an opinion and judgment. If you don't know its opinion, then you think it's reality. Recently, I am working with a trust in Karnataka, and this trustee was like, I have to change all my staff. Because the new vision that we have, these people are not good for that. And then he happened to participate in our advanced course. And afterwards, he saw, oh my God, same people are right now taking up leadership. Each of his team members are taking on leadership for different projects in their NGO. He was about to fire all of them. But when he saw, he was not dealing with them, he was dealing with his opinion about them. Same people are now showing up as leaders. The whole team, he was about to, no, they can't do it. They are not capable for the new future. No, but when he shifted, everything shifted. So I don't know this person is good or bad. Okay, I have no idea. I don't have any opinion. But I know that you also don't have any idea. You have some opinion, right? And that's not a problem. You will take decisions as per your opinion. Only thing is you should know it's your opinion. You should not think that you are dealing with reality. And then there are ways to find out more reality. But first starting point is to know we are in our head. We are not listening. Does that help you in some way? Yeah. But don't listen to anybody, right? So we don't listen to any of our staff, we don't listen to our family members, we don't listen to, we have this downloading, what we call, this listening from habit. It's also called downloading. Otto Scharmer calls it downloading. So we have a downloading, we have an opinion. We have an opinion about our industry. We have an opinion about how this industry will work or will not work. What is required in this industry, what is not required. Right? We have an opinion about everything, including yourself. So we are dealing with a world of opinion. We are living in that world of opinion. No relationship to reality. Just 1 second. Let me take some other people also. Yeah. Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Deepak. I'm in the innovation space.
Sorry.
Just wondering
time?
about one statement that you mentioned is that that we are not listening. You were pretty categorical about it, and we also mentioned that the fact that we are always having opinions in our mind, and then we are talking. Is it actually that categorical? Because when we are listening to you, we are obviously a bit open. We are open to listening to what you're, and based on what you are sharing with us is what we are finding, developing opinions, you know, and that's, that I just thought I'll just check with you. Is it actually black and white, or is there a gray coming in between that there is, no, you are listening, or you are also, there is a combination of you form opinions because of what you are listening?
Yeah, if I were to say it more rigorously, you are listening through your opinions and judgments.
All right.
So you get what you get because of the opinions and judgment through which you listen, and sir will get what he gets because of the opinions and judgment what he listens through, and same. So same content, 100 people will get differently.
So we are getting some information from you, we are processing it, and we are making an opinion, and we are sharing it. And so this is where I got really confused. So is it that totally, is there a black and white, we don't listen, we just this, or is there a shade of gray coming in it?
Yeah, you'll have to stay with what I said. Just stay with what I said, and I'm going to repeat that one line. You listen through your opinions and judgments. So you start with your opinion judgment, you listen through your opinion judgment, you reconfirm your opinion and judgment. You end up where you start with. Right?
I think people are driven by data, right? I mean, there is a data behind things, right? With decisions, right? These days, decisions are driven by data, right? Not just opinion and judgments, you know. I think you are very biased.
Are you from IT industry?
I am from IT industry.
Yeah. So most IT industry people feel that, or they hope that, but human beings make decisions and then use data to justify their decisions.
I mean, may not be 100%, you know. I mean,
Yeah, sure, you don't have to agree,
yeah.
but it would be a good idea to explore.
But if you think about just data, you know, not their opinions and judgments, right? If you go back into, like, say, you know, like law of cause and effect, like applying it everywhere, right? And understanding the reality completely, and then, you know, acting on it, right? I mean, how feasible would that be? Like, it would take so much time, right, to get to that kind of understanding and altering of reality.
Yeah, we don't have time for reality, so we'll go with our illusions.
Maybe data and opinions and illusions.
Yeah, let me give you some access here. What's your name?
Rajan Chandi.
Rajan.
Yeah.
So consider that there is an opportunity to listen to data. But which data? What do you have to train yourself in? If you want to really develop listening,
you have to train yourself in law of cause and effect. Like, you should ask yourself what is causing what, like every day, most of the times, you know.
okay.
So if you listen to causes and effects, right, eventually, you know, you are closest, you can be as close as possible to the reality.
Okay. Can I say what I wanted to say?
Sure, please.
Okay. So I'm saying we need to listen to data which we don't agree.
Okay.
the proof of our listening is how open are we to receive data which doesn't match our logic. That's the proof of openness.
Yeah, I think there are easy ways to achieve that state of openness. You know, the meditative ways to reach that state.
Yeah, there could be 1,000 ways, but I'm just saying listening begins with how you deal with data which you don't agree.
Okay.
And right now you don't agree with what I'm saying.
No, I'm not able to judge from the data I have right now.
Yeah, but the point is you can't see it from your place.
Well, yes, because I have not been in your shoes. I have not been in your shoes, so I cannot.
Yeah, so just try out. This idiot is saying that I don't listen. And not only I don't listen, I can't listen. And not only I can't listen, nobody is listening. My colleagues are also not listening. My customers are also not listening. My employees are also not listening.
And there's no easy way to change it.
There is very easy way. Very easy way.
I mean, you can change yourself, but how about others?
It's very easy. That's not a problem. We are doing this. That's what our game is, day in, day out. That's what we do. We help people to start listening. It's like really listening.
Yeah, but if you do meditation, definitely you can get into that state of listening, right?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know what you do.
I don't teach meditation, so I cannot tell you anything about it.
Okay.
Right?
But definitely there is a way. I mean.
But we train people day in, day out, companies day in, day out to start listening. Start listening to their colleagues, start listening to their customers, start listening to the world, start listening to the industry, and they change. They change because they see things differently. Not because they get convinced by us, but because they go out, interact with the people, and they say, oh my God, my boss was shouting, we need to upgrade products. Now I realize why we need to upgrade products. The customer is saying that. It's not my CEO is saying it. When they start going out in the world and getting the input from many people, then they change. But first you have to train them in listening.
Okay. Maybe there is something easier than meditation, because meditation is not for everyone.
Yeah. We train people in listening in one day. They start listening, actually.
Okay.
Just one day. You can start listening in one day.
I already listen. I do 1 hour of your question. I'm
Yeah.
listening and responding as much as I can.
Sure. That's the most dangerous place, just for you to know.
Sure.
Right? For all of us, this is not about you. This is all human beings, all of us. Right? I've been in 30 years in this game of training the world in listening, but I don't listen. Why? Because I'm still a human being, and human beings don't listen. We can't listen.
No, I disagree. Like,
Sure, don't worry. You can disagree. That's not the point.
I mean, if you start observing, like, it's a form of listening.
Wait. Yeah.
Like, it's just not ears, right? It's
Yes.
also listening
So what
with your
is the
mind.
access? Then you should ask, what is the access?
It
How
not-
can you, when nobody is designed for listening, how can we listen? We can listen by noticing that in this moment I am not listening. And for that moment you will be able to listen. And the next moment you have to catch yourself again. And the next moment you have to catch yourself again. And the next moment you have to catch yourself again. There is no blanket medicine available called, okay, take this tablet, you will start listening forever. No. You will listen the moment you notice you are not listening. Only in the moment that you notice you are not listening, you can listen. For that moment. Next moment, we are back to our design. Yes, sir.
Can I add?
Please.
Anant from Logical Mind. Listening is, I think, the half of the journey. There are more steps after listening. Listening means when they listen, then you have to analyze. After analyzing, then you try to adopt it and see the improvement in the process. I think the improvement and the outcome is then the real fruit of listening. Just listening will not help without outcome or measuring the outcome.
Yeah.
That is my thought process.
I agree. It's just that
Thank you.
when the foundation is missing, everything else becomes missing.
Absolutely.
Right? And foundation is, we don't know that we are not listening. just look into your office, right? You think everybody is listening to everybody?
In the office, just give me 1 minute time in office. What I can say that listening is, what I perceive that one, listening is also related to our memories. If I am a simple guy, as a villager from the village, if I start talking about the aeroplane and rocket, that person will not. The listening is something related to our knowledge, our memories. If it is coming in that, if the mind is able to analyze it, then we are listening to that. If you don't have that idea in memories and knowledge, then it may.
Yeah.
This is my observation.
Okay, good. Can I give you a suggestion? Yeah. In a training opportunity, it's good to ask question than to get stuck with what you already know, because you already know that. You are going to have that with you already. So that's there with you. Nobody is going to take away from that. But a good idea would be to ask a question. Because what you already know is safe with you. Nobody is taking it away. Right? But a good idea, okay, I have that knowledge, I have that understanding, but what is the question that I can ask here which will, because you are dealing with something. See, all of you are most probably interacting with whatever I am saying and seeing, oh, this is either matching, not matching, making difficult, whatever. And then best thing would be to ask a question. It requires curiosity. And learning begins with curiosity. No curiosity, no learning, no listening. Yes, sir. Can you pass on the mic? Yeah.
I may believe that I'm listening, but actually I may not be listening.
Yeah.
How to correct that situation?
Very good. I think you are on the starting point, right? So when you start to be open, that maybe I'm not listening, right? And I think that's a very good point. And I generally work with people to help them create warning signals, symptoms. How will you know you're not listening? Or at least how will you know this is a good time to question whether I'm listening or not listening? So one of the things that I have is, if I think the other person is not understanding me, that's a good place to stop and say, am I listening? Or when I am getting upset, that's a good place. Am I listening? Or I am thinking, oh, this person is going off track. Am I listening? So we have to create some flags which will tell us to check our own listening, right? So that's a good place to start. And then once you have that, I think the game is curiosity, right? How do you deal with listening? It's curiosity. What can you do? What does curiosity mean? What do you do with curiosity? Ask questions. Oh, what you're saying I didn't understand. Or it's different from what I was thinking. Can you say something more? Can you explain further? Oh, I didn't think that way. I was thinking this way. Right? No, just ask a question. Listening begins when you ask a question. No question, no listening. If you already have all the answers, why will you listen? So you said this. Okay, let me process. Okay, are you saying this? Oh, I don't understand this part. Can you say something more? Best way to start listening is to ask a question and then pause and reflect. But we don't ask questions because we already know everything. Right? But you are on the right track. At least you are willing to see that, oh, maybe I am not listening. Right? Great job.
But I may be thinking that I'm listening, but actually I may not be.
That is an illusion all of us have. Till the time we actually start finding out data, new data. So the proof of listening, how do you know you are listening? Is you are discovering new data, contradictory data than what you already know. So that's what we talk about. The next level, is, just one second, I'm just completing that. So we call it factual listening, right? It's the second level. is you notice the difference. You're discovering new data. You're listening for new data, contradictory to your current understanding, contrary to or different from your current logic. That's the proof of listening. You're discovering new data, contradictory data, data which makes you think again, which forces you to think again. Right? Am I responding it enough, sir? Thank you very much. Yes, and then I'll come back to you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you. So my question is, can the idea of blind spot add some lights on the listening that we have been discussing and trying to maybe explore further?
Not relevant.
Okay. All right.
Whole life is a blind spot only. Right? It's just the illusion that we have of we know anything. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll come back. Just one second. Yeah, please. Please.
Is human mind trained to listen best when we are talking? Is the talking and listening go together? Is it something which is hand in hand?
From my experience, it doesn't go great. To have both happen at the same time, we're not that great. And if I were to just quote Peter Senge, he would say, you need reflection time for any learning to happen, right? And learning is connected with listening, right? So I think it is always good to create some reflection time to process what is being said, right? And before you think that, yeah, I understood or did not understand. So the answer would be that we are not great at doing both at the same time. We need to create some extra time for listening.
I have one more thing to say, is that we spoke about hiring and firing somebody. What I feel is, that's my personal opinion, that when we combined opinions with trust, and this is usually a distrust, and that makes a lethal kind of a combination, and which is where I feel that we are not in a position to take a very strong and a decisive actions. One, and second thing, we are not in a comfort zone of our own as well, because we are in dual mind, and that is what creates friction within ourselves. I am not more worried about what happens outside, but within ourselves, it creates more friction. Is that something which usually happens at this kind of a thought process when you are making opinions, and through those opinions you also start distrusting that person?
Sure. Our opinions are going to lead to whether either we'll trust or distrust, right? So that's what the whole game of opinions is. And you make decisions from the opinions, you are going to deal with those consequences because you're never 100% sure, right? So I agree with what you're saying. What's your question in that?
My question was that, say for an example, my personal aim of life is that trust people unless and until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
Now this is very easily said, but it is very difficult to do it.
Yes.
And how I can be trained to actually believe in what I have made as my personal goal and principle of life?
I would say keep it simple. Start with we are not listening, right? Start with that. So then whatever we are dealing with is colored by that, colored by our opinion and judgment. And then look at, develop yourself to discover new data, contradictory data. Train yourself to discover that. That would be the first place. And the second place would be to develop yourself to see things from other sides.
The biggest, one more thing which I will add into it, the biggest challenge which I see in this thought process, which is that the surroundings, and maybe the surroundings of people and place and the environment always tells you that don't trust so much. Don't trust on people. Have and I am living my own goal of trusting people and not being able to overcome probably those challenges at times while making decisions.
Yes, I agree. I get that. The way out of that suffering, right, is to actually have a breakthrough in listening. And we are going to do a small exercise right now. Maybe it can help you to discover a world beyond what we know as listening, right? But I don't think there is an easy answer to that, except that you have to develop some more muscle in listening and discovering data from multiple perspectives. Because you have a perspective, and from that perspective, you decide whether this person is trustworthy or not. But there are multiple perspectives. We don't know how to see the world from multiple eyes. We see the world from our eyes. Are you with me?
Yes, I am with you.
So we are seeing the world from our eyes, right? As a leader, we need to develop the capacity to see the world from multiple eyes. That's where the whole limitation is coming right now, and you can't see the other way till the time you actually begin to train yourself to see from other sides. We'll do small exercise which will be an introduction to that world. Yeah?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, sir. And I'll come back to you. Just one second. Yeah.
This is my own observation.
Please.
Hi, my name is Karan.
Yes.
This is my own observation. Why do people don't listen to people whom we are close to?
Because we have a lot of opinion about them.
Because I don't know you, but everybody is listening to you.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, that's what
We have no way to find out.
But yeah, let me see.
Yeah.
If I'm close to my colleague.
Are you married?
Yes.
You have all the answers. You know how much you were listening to your wife before she became your wife. Right? And after 6 months of marriage, now you have all the opinion. You know that. You stop listening because the opinion and judgment comes. So we are listening to our opinion and judgment. As the baggage of opinion and judgment increases, our listening capacity goes down. Right? Now you know your parents very well. So why you listen? You don't listen. Because I know my mother started, now she started nagging. So the more opinion and judgment baggage we have, and the more attached we are to our judgment, opinion and judgment, the less listening. It's not just the opinion and judgment we have, but also the attachment we have to that opinion and judgment. Like if somebody tells you, you don't know your wife, you will be upset. But actually we don't know. Right? Yes, just 1 second, okay? I'm going to come back to you, but I just go with the sequence. Yes, sir. Can you pass on the mic, please? I hope you got some. Yeah.
Thanks. So I was reflecting further on whatever
Please.
is being said, and of course it's very applicable to everyone.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that in my case, for example, what happens is that there are dozens of people who want to talk something, and I feel drained.
Can you try your mic a little bit?
There are dozens of people who want to talk in the organization, and then sometimes I feel drained, and I say, "Ki, Baba, mail likh do, I will just look at it and revert to you."
Right.
I don't know how to overcome that, so I thought maybe this is a question to ask.
Yeah. See, the real point is you have an opinion and judgment about all of them. Right? We have an opinion and judgment about everybody. Right? So that is always coming in the way. Now, how do you deal with the situation? That is not the real problem. The real problem is noticing what opinion and judgment you have about them, and then can you put that aside? Right? How many people in your company? Right. 25 plus? 400. Right. So if you just start with 25, right? Can I give you an exercise? And this could be for everybody, okay? Look at the people who report to you directly. Make a list, right? And then against them, write down what is your opinion and judgment about them. Right? Not right now, as you go home before you sleep, just write down, right? And then for the next 1 week, whenever you're talking to them, keep this list with you and say, let me put this aside. Let me put this opinion aside and try to discover something new about this person. Oh, I think this person is not disciplined. Okay, let me put that aside and listen to this person again. Oh, I think this person is not detail oriented. Okay, let me put that aside and see something else. So for 1 week experiment, putting the opinion and judgment aside. But you can only put the opinion judgment aside if you know that you have an opinion and judgment. And you are committed to discover new data. See, we have to be like scientists. A scientist has to discover new data or new perspectives. If they see the old things, see the things in the same old way, there's no prize, right? So we have to become like scientists, research. Oh, I have this opinion, but can I put aside and see it from a different opinion? And same thing, not only about people, but about situations, right? About the projects that they are working on, or about the situation or the business. We have an opinion. Oh, this project is not going well, it will not go well, or this is going to be like this only, right? So that would be one starting point if you like. Yeah, does that help you some way? Thank you, sir. Okay, somebody else here? Yes, sir, and then I'll come to you. Yeah. I need to wrap up at 7:45, right?
Myself, Darshan Thakur. I had a question.
Yes, please.
This is a CEO's forum.
Yeah.
Wherein most of the activities are time bound and focused. Now in this process of time bound and focused scenario, if a CEO starts listening, understanding their point of view and keeping aside his point of view,
right?
How can, will it help the CEO in a short time scenario, or it will take a long time for a CEO to see that he starts understanding people and then taking along with the subject or an agenda or an issue?
I'm just trying to find a polite answer to that.
You can give a rude answer also, no sir?
So let me give the rude answer, okay?
Yeah.
Rude answer is, if you have shares of a company whose CEO doesn't want to listen, please sell the shares immediately.
Thank you. I just wanted to know that if I wanted
because today or tomorrow they are going to get into trouble. And by the way, all of us, we are very busy, but there have been companies 1,000 times bigger than us who have made the same blunders. Which phone do you use, sir?
Pardon?
Which phone? Which company phone? Mobile.
iPhone.
iPhone, right? Before 10 years, what phone was used by CEOs? BlackBerry. CEOs were not using Nokia. Nokia was for their secretary, right? CEOs were using BlackBerry, right? They couldn't sleep without the BlackBerry behind them, besides them. What happened to BlackBerry? It's gone to sleep because they didn't listen. What happened to Nokia? They didn't listen. There are so many companies, thousands and thousands of times bigger than us, who have been killed because they don't listen. So I am not kidding when I'm saying we don't listen. And they had more management power than us, they had more resources than us, smarter people, IIM and Harvard and this and that and everything. But if we don't listen, we are going to be in trouble. Right? So it's like this, if I give an analogy, if you are surfing in the ocean, right? Most of the people from Ahmedabad, we don't get a chance, but if you ever get a chance to surf in the ocean, even if you have surfed for your whole life, still the rule applies. You have to sense the wave, and as the wave comes, either you ride the wave or you miss it and it disrupts you. Right? That's what happens to all of us. So all CEOs who don't have time for listening will have a lot of time afterwards. Nobody listening to them. And this is not only companies, sir. This happens to professionals also. There are a lot of people who, oh, I am a great person. I have done so many things. I know so many ex-CEOs And nobody values them anymore because the chair is gone. And then they discover nobody is interested because they're not in the world.
I take your example correctly and give you a scenario wherein a CEO is having a meeting with all departmental heads.
Yes.
And deciding the targets for the next year.
Yes.
In that scenario, how much time you should give for listening and understanding people to achieve the target?
He should spend a lot of time even before coming to this meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Lot of time has to be invested before the meeting. Otherwise, there is no bigger tragic comedy in a company than the performance management system. Goal setting is a joke. I know companies where people say, oh, I have committed 100, means actually I am supposed to do 50. And the CEO comes and says, this guy have committed 100, so I hope they at least do 25. There's no point there, right? Okay, so there are so many things. This is a topic which we can, this whole theory is like, at least I can spend 1 year with you non-stop. Okay, it's an ocean. But we don't want to do that. We want to give you something that you can test and take home, right, as a beginning point. So we want to give you a test of an exercise which we call as empathy walk. You understand empathy? Not sympathy, but empathy, connection, human connection, right? So we're talking about empathy walk. What is empathy walk? It's not that you have to physically walk, right? You can, but that's not the point. The point is to put aside your opinion and judgment all the time and discover the other person. Discover them, just as a human being, no agenda. Now for CEOs or for anybody, nowadays to have a conversation without agenda is a problem. Right? So this is a conversation which you have to do without any agenda, only to discover the other person, to connect with the other person. Okay? So I'm going to do a demo, and the demo is, the only problem with demo is you cannot copy it. Because next time I do a demo, I will do it differently, and the next time I'll do it differently, because there's no right way to do it. There is no format, there's no right way to do it. You have to open your heart and connect with the person. Okay? So I need a volunteer. Okay, sir, you are the first one to raise hand, so can you come here just for everybody's benefit? Now, what is the purpose here? The purpose is to discover, what's your name, sir? Nirav Seth. So our job is to discover Nirav Seth. That's all. No agenda. We are not trying to sell anything. We are not trying to convince anything. We don't need to get him to vote for our political party or nothing. Right? Just to discover you. Right? Sure. Thank you very much. Can we acknowledge him, please? Thank you. Can I get a mic for you? You stay here. This is I think, is it working? Great. So, thanks. So, Nirav, we just want to know you, okay, know a little bit about you. Just why don't you share a little bit about yourself, your upbringing, your childhood. Let's just know about you.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead. And then maybe in between I'll ask some questions also.
Yeah.
Just to know more.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Thank you all.
Little louder.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Myself Nirav Seth, and I'm a pharma professional. And let's at sir's side, I have started my journey from my childhood itself. Okay, so in my childhood, starting from academic portion, generally what happened with the people is that they study one or two schools, but
right.
In 15 years of academic, I have studied in 8 schools.
Right.
And
Wow.
due to my father's frequent job change, so that is a unique experience I have. And I was academic very brilliant student, but after 10th, till 10th I achieved a 90%. In 11th and 12th, I touched a half benchmark, about 50% only.
Right.
And it was a surprising for everyone, even for me. And after that, I made a comeback in my pharmacy. I made a distinction, and later on, I joined a company, Sun Pharma. And again, I thought that I should have a master degree. So after that, I thought that let's have a master degree. So again, I left my job and joined. I completed my master degree, and again I started doing my pharma job. This is about my academic and academic as well as a professional experience. Little bit about me personally. If I will say that if anything that associated with me is that I will say lion, because lion is a symbol that when you come down or when you are down in any point of life, there would at some time point that you have to going to up you have to raise yourself up. So personally, I associate with myself as a lion, because I feel that when I was in 10th, after 12th, I get down. Again, I made a comeback in pharmacy as a distinction. And same happened in my professional life as well. When I joined a pharma company, I initial 3 years struggles a lot, that how to understand the people's mentality and how should I grow at upper level. And it took me 10 to 12 years to understand the things. Later and when I lead a team of 4 to 8 people, then I understood that there is what I did, many things I did, it was wrong, and many things I have learned as a human being. So most important thing that I learned during many seminars and my personal experience, that as sir said, that there are 2 important things in the leader. First is listening skills, that is more important, and second is being an empathetic person. It will help anyone. That's it.
Great, fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can you share a little bit about your family?
Yeah, sure. In my family, I have mother and father, and they are staying at Vadodara. And about my wife and my daughter, we are staying in Ahmedabad. So, and my brother and his wife, they are settled in Bangalore. I have 3-year little daughter. So when I come from the office, we know that there is a lot of stress and other works are going on. So where I always feel that my enjoyable moment is that when I come back to the office and immediately my daughter come to me and she say anything that Papa so Papa came. So that's a wonderful moment for me. And whenever I'm stressed and something like that, so I talk with my mom. So she will give any kind of suggestion, you have to do this, you do this. Sometimes my wife gives very wonderful suggestions that even I didn't think. And she always tell me that I am giving you free suggestion, you are not listening to me, and you are giving more monies to implement this suggestion from the other speakers and other trainers.
All right. Great. Thank you very much. And what does your father do?
My father is also in a pharma profession, and he is a retired person right now.
And your mother is also a homemaker?
Yeah, she is a housewife.
And your wife?
My wife is she's a dentist, but she left her field and now she pursued her passion, our English language, and she is IELTS trainer. She is doing various activities, I won't say, and right now her focus is complete on learning. That now we know that concept of e-learning is there, so she is completely focused on learning. And future, I think that she might launch her own course on English language.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can we acknowledge him? Now, we don't have the time, otherwise I can spend at least another half an hour to know a lot of things about you, right? But thank you very much for coming here and volunteering. Thank you. Right? Thank you very much. Thank you. Can we acknowledge him, please?
Thank you.
How many of you felt more connected with him now, Nirav? You feel more connected? How much time did we invest? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Nirav, do you feel more connected with us now? This is what it cost, 5 minutes. Possible to invest? Or we're too busy? You know, I asked my daughter did 11th, 12th in humanities, and she likes drawing. So I thought she's going to go for arts and NID and those kind of stuff. So, but since I teach this, I have to also practice, right? So I was spending some time with her and asking her what she wants to do. Are you looking to do arts? And we were talking about how to prepare for some competitive exams for NID and CEPT and other things. And she says, I don't want to study that. I thought, you are great, because in our family, she is the best at drawing, right? People like me cannot draw a single line, and she is a real good artist. So we were like, okay. She says, no, I don't want to do it. I did 2 years, 11th and 12th, and now I will do it as a hobby, but I don't want to do it. And she said, I want to learn languages. So I was busy finding out courses for her, how she can get the competitive exams and go to NID and this and that. And she's saying, I want to learn languages. But if I had not spent that time with her, I would not have found out. And right now she's taken admission in St. Xavier's, and she's learning English, Hindi and Sanskrit. And I love working with her, studying like what she's doing. Right now she has a break, and she's trying to learn Tamil. When you discover people, be open, you discover people, there are so many things we don't know. We have this illusion that we know people. Right? And when we not connect, so today, she is going to her grandmother's place for some work. So she came to know that I am coming here for the event. So she sent me best of luck. I said, thank you very much. And then she says, I love you. As a father, that's the most fulfilling thing on the planet, right? A 19-year-old telling you that you are important in their life, that itself is the most fulfilling thing, right? But just because we spend time to discover each other and not think that we know each other. Because the moment you think you know, game over. You can't listen. Right? So my invitation to you today, so this is a three-month exercise that Sir is and Dikshit has also planned. That we'll be spending time with you again next month. Take this conversation further to more discussions, more bringing it to your companies and personal life. But this month, since it's a big gap, I request spend some more time with your family and discover them newly. Even if you're married for 20 plus years, discover them newly, right? And discover your children newly. Discover your staff newly. Be open for some surprises. At the worst thing, you will waste 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That's an investment we can do. Because our leadership, why is it important for leaders to do that? Because if we are seeing the world from our eyes, we cannot be leaders. We need to be able to see the world from multiple eyes to expand our horizon. What we know is our death. If we get stuck to what we know, we are dead, like the BlackBerry. If we have to get out of our head. In our head is our burial, suicide. If you stay in your head, please sell. If you don't want to get out of your head, even if you are the CEO, sell the shares of your company, because it's going to go down. Right? Yes, sir. Yeah.
In organization's perspective, usually the Discover definitely works good for all the people.
Yeah.
And any kind of let's say if organizations wants to achieve something, and just to involve the team, we used to arrange some kind of workshops wherein we invite, do some brainstorming. People come up with ideas and concepts. Instead of imposing our ideas and concepts, we invite people to their thought process.
Yeah.
So ideas definitely bring it that on the table we will.
Right.
But what matters the most is an execution.
Yeah.
So those people who are bringing in ideas,
yeah,
the same people would not be able to execute the ideas effectively.
Yes.
So how to manage this? Because ultimately it is all about learning. Definitely here there is no perception, no opinion, no judgment. It is purely we are asking them to come up with an ideas and concepts that how can, if you wanted to go from X to Y,
right,
if you wanted to achieve some goals and accomplish something,
right,
for an organizational benefit. So it is purely their views.
Right.
So this question came in my mind. I thought to ask.
Yeah. Can I give a bad answer? Yeah. They don't give a damn about your company. They don't care about your company at all. Because they don't experience that you care about them in the first place. There's no connection. Yeah. And I'm not paid to say things that people like. But so stay with what I'm saying. Stay with what I am saying. Yeah, let it bother you. That's where the money is. So what I recommend is you stay with what I'm saying. Let it disturb you, because that will allow you to see something differently. If it sits comfortably with what you already know, then you wasted your time with me. Every time you talk to me, you will have to go back having to think something differently. Okay, so let me right now respond to him. And don't expect to be comfortable with me. That's not my job. So really, they don't care about the company. Because they don't think the company cares about them either. Sorry? The company may care. I'm not saying the company doesn't care. I'm saying they don't experience that the company cares. Brilliant. Now you are asking a relevant question. Start listening to them. Start discovering them. Connect to them and know them as a human being, not just as an employee with a particular competency. Discover them as a human being. You will be surprised. Same people will start showing up differently. Because what people want is to be validated as a human being, not only as a machine. See, when you say you are very competent, right? That's like, yeah, you are a good machine. That's important, of course. The professional credibility is important, right? But also at the same time, that human connect is important. Why should I'm actually doing this work, some kind of research, and maybe someday in the future I might come up with a book called Bringing Soul to Workplace. And that's what when I talk to companies, that's what I'm talking about. Do your employees bring their soul to the workplace? And the question is, forget that. Do you bring your soul to the workplace? And if you want to create, what is this all about? It's about creating organizations where we can bring our soul to the workplace. You know what most of us do if we are lucky? We work for Monday to Friday, and then on Saturday, Sunday, we do some good social work. That's our soul. We want to do something and make some difference somewhere. We contribute somewhere. But we don't want to bring our soul to the office. I'm interested in creating companies where people bring their soul to the office. So the question I ask is, your business, your organization, is it going to add to the three divides, or is it going to heal the three divides? Are we going to add to the spiritual divide? Are we going to add to the social divide? Are we going to add to the ecological divide, or are we going to heal it? You understand, heal it? Yeah. Yeah. And that's why we are talking to the CEOs. Because when you heal or contribute to heal the spiritual divide and the social divide and the ecological divide in your company, wherever it is, starting being sensitive about it in the first place, then planet has some hope. Humanity has some hope. Yeah? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
I want to say that what
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'll come to you. Yeah. Yeah.
Who is a current executive director of Aditya Birla Group, and at that time he was a chairman for Nokia, and he had a 15-minute session, and the session was called Dil. That is, and it was Shiv Kumar.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. He's talking about that.
And
Yes.
it was something very similar to what you are mentioning, that bringing soul to work, and how do you make that change and that transition. I think very, very important, and I am looking forward to that book.
Thank you very much. Yes, madam. Can I get your mic?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you said that we need to reach out to our people and get to know them better.
Yes.
So how much, to what level should we go and find out who they are? So where does that stop? Or to what extent do you need to go?
Interesting question. Yeah, so I'm saying keep discovering them. You're married, right? Yeah. If you'll keep discovering people. Everybody should marry, I believe. It's a good training ground. And if you are a parent, it's a very good training ground, because how you are as a parent will determine how you are as a manager. Right? Bad parents can never be good managers. Yeah, everything is opinion. See, as human beings, we have nothing else except opinion. It's just that knowing that it's an opinion. That's important. So I think the discovery of people never stops. Because people are also growing. People are also evolving. And their perspectives are different. So I don't think there is any particular limit like that. I don't know why you asked that question. So give me some more background.
So when you start getting too much into lives of people,
yeah,
then you lose that, they also start getting into your lives.
Right.
It is mutual.
Yeah.
And then that, the distance, that little, what do you call as, हाँ वो बहुत ज़्यादा you start crossing the lines. Yeah, you start crossing the lines, so that's where the concern is. So how much should you know, or how much should you get into somebody's life?
Right. So nobody can answer that, right? It's all going to be very person specific, very situation specific. But what I would want you to know is this question comes from fear. We have fear.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So we have to just notice that this question is coming from fear. And we have three kinds of enemies that come in the way of our listening. First is our opinion and judgment, right? The second is cynicism. Cynicism means things will not be better. I'm sure things will not be better. Right? What's the point of listening to them? They are ultimately idiots only. Right? If I listen to them, maybe they will start asking for more money, more perks, more blah, blah, blah. And I will not be able to fire them also. Right? So there's all cynicism going on. And we don't open our heart because of this cynicism. See, if you open your heart, you will get hurt. Yes? If you open your heart, you may get hurt. But that's why you have the heart. Otherwise, why do you have the heart? If you don't want to take that risk, of connecting with human beings, why do you have the heart? Only to pump blood. So that you have to take that risk. Open your heart, take the risk. You'll get hurt, it's okay, you won't die. And you'll find out 1,000 ways of dealing with stuff. But just notice how much fear stops us from connecting to people. And we want them to bring their soul to the office. But we are going to be afraid, and we are going to be sitting in our cabin, locking ourselves from people, or mentally doing that. And we want them to bring their soul to our workplace. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. I hope it gives you some.
Yeah, it does give me a thought.
Thank you. That's all. Can I take a last question?
Please
do. Sorry, sir.
No. You're perfectly on time.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so after listening, I hope I'm listening.
Yes.
So how do we minimize or delete our opinion and judgment for others?
Brilliant question. Brilliant. How many want to reduce your opinion and judgment? Okay. You cannot. Okay, well, hold on. Right now you have an opinion and judgment that you could not stop. You just had an opinion and judgment that you could not stop. Yeah, that's called opinion and judgment, sir. Hold on. As I said, all the knowledge you already have, right? Nobody's taking that away. So, in what we are teaching you, what we are saying is, you cannot stop your opinion and judgment, and you don't have to. Just you have to notice it. If you notice your opinion and judgment, you can put it aside. And then listen. Just that, you have to put it aside. Like you have a car, right, and you're driving the car, and you get a phone call and you want to answer the phone call. You park your car on the side and you answer the phone call. Right? I don't know if that happens in Ahmedabad, but that's what's supposed to happen, right? In the same way, when you notice you are getting upset, when you notice that this communication is not going well, right, the conversation is not going well, or somehow you get alert that, okay, this is not perfect, this is not going on. You pause and see, okay, what's my opinion and judgment? Put that aside and try to discover something new. And maybe ask a question, hey, listen, I think I'm not understanding you. Can you say something more? Can you help me understand you? Pause and ask a question. Does that help you? Thank you. Yes, sir. And this is the final question before sir. No, sir. I have to close at 8. Yes, sir.
Good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Dr. Manish Agarwal. I am the CEO of Dr. Jivraj Mehta Hospital.
Great.
I would like to share something with you. I have got 2 specific questions. We have got 400 doctors, consultant doctors, and 600 paramedics, nurses, and medical officers. So altogether 1,000 people. And people directly reporting to me is 30. Now my question is that up to what extent as a CEO I have to discover people, all 1,000 people or only those who are directly reporting to me? This is first question. And second question is, we do have female employees also. When you try to discover female employee, so they may go in another direction. So there is a dilemma ki how to explore, because आप किसी के personal life के बारे में पूछेंगे तो they may think something else. And one more very pertinent question is, when CEO is asking about their personal life, trying to discover them in such a fashion, this is not expected from CEO as per their perception, how they will take it. So if you could give some insight.
Yeah. So I think there are multiple dimensions to your question. One is let me start with the last question first about the last comment that the CEO, they are not expecting the CEO to do this, right? Yes. So you don't have to limit to the CEO doing this. You actually, I would recommend to start with, train all your leadership team to do it. And then actually train everybody to do it. Everybody to start listening. If all 1,000 people start listening, you will have a miracle of an organization.
Yeah, it means before exploring people or discovering them, we have to train our team about listening part.
Yes.
Then only we can implement.
And you start at certain level, like with the people who report to you directly.
Right.
You start, see, it's like layers and layers, right? You start at a level that, layer that you are comfortable with and they are comfortable with.
Okay.
With different people, you will see different aspects, right? And just start at some level. Wherever you are comfortable, start at that level. And then keep expanding.
So I could have two options.
Yeah.
Number one, first I have to get trained from you to take it further in my organization, or I have to invite you in our organization to get the session roll out.
Yeah, that is a smart idea.
Yeah, thank you.
But if you don't want to get trained by me, I have another idea. In case you are traveling to certain places where Otto Scharmer himself teaches, you can go and attend with him also, right?
I'm comfortable with you.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, and I can promise you that your leadership team will start listening to each other in one day. And then, of course, it's a journey. It's a beginning. See, any training program is a beginning. And then you have to sustain it. And why it is important for the senior most leader like you to participate is because you have to then take the responsibility of sustaining that conversation. Right? Anybody who says participate in the training program, then it is handled, that doesn't work. That's the beginning of the learning, and then you have to continue to practice it, and that's why the senior leaders need to continue to work on it.
Can I start this practice from tomorrow in my organization?
Sure, and you can start in your home tonight.
Okay, thank you so much. It's furthermore better.
Yeah, thank you very much. Over to you, sir. Yes, please. Sorry if I went over my timeline.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, didn't realize.
Thank you, everybody.
Didn't realize it's almost 2 hours since we gathered here. So first of all, a really big round of applause for Manoj Omkar.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manoj ji, for taking up this topic in a very different way, looking at it from a different perspective and guiding us through certain eye-openers. This is not a different kind of thing. I'm not going to waste your time. I don't want to sum up or even repeat some of the things he said because it doesn't make it we have to do it ourselves. But at the same time, at a personal level, I feel I'm truly enriched by being here to especially some very small things, but something very interesting, just like he said, the things like listening or, curiosity, where the whole thing about the open mind comes. So personally, I'm enriched, and I'm sure that all of us will go home with some take home. A lot of points to ponder, but with an open mind. That's my take home today. And friends, thank you for your presence today for 2 hours at AMA. And I'm grateful. And it's not only the presence, but it's the very active interaction and the wonderful questions that were asked. And Manoj, of course, for your responses. And most of you have given your feedback forms, but if you have forgotten, please spare 1.5 to 2 minutes, because that is very important for us for shaping this programs and even your other suggestions for AMA as senior people. And this series will take our dream of offering more to the fraternity of the senior management and the leaders of Ahmedabad. Once again, thank you Manoj ji, and thank you very all for coming. I wish you a very good evening. Thank you. Next session is on 22nd June, Thursday. Okay, next session. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, Unmesh just update me. The next session will be on 22nd June, which is a Thursday. Thank you.
Same time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Same time, yeah, at 6. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.